Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, 10 o'clock as scheduled. I am back for another Rapid Fire Friday episode. And this is where I answer 5 questions from the last week. So questions, suggestions, wonderments, maybe scenarios with my clients. So things that have been of interest in the last week. So welcome everybody. And my name is Annette Conrad, and I'm the owner and lead decorator for Edible Impressions. So welcome to all my new members that have joined the community, and welcome to my founding members as always. I do appreciate you all. And I created this Facebook group honestly and truly for the love of all things baked, certainly decorated cookies, and mostly because I want to share my knowledge and expertise when it comes to transforming your passion. Perhaps you're a hobbyist or you're a solo entrepreneur and you want to kind of catapult that passion into profit. So I'm here to share with you my knowledge and expertise. So thank you so much. My team and I create memorable and meaningful custom decorated cookies for professional and personal celebrations. And so I'm just here to share some of my knowledge. So we've had a really busy week, but I've got some really good Q&As here for you that came up in the last week. And forgive me if you hear that licking in the background. I actually have my grandpup here, Maui, today. And my husband, I'm kind of alone right now in the bakery, or the attached bakery. And so I'm watching her. So I'm kind of like a child putting in front of a TV for like 10 minutes so you can actually make a phone call. I have her licking a bone right now, so with peanut butter on it, just to maybe have her not bark, because she likes to bark at me when I'm talking. So anyway, so welcome everybody, and thank you for your attention. What we're going to do is we're going to go through 5 questions from the last week in rapid fire format. And again, these are things that I kind of was involved in conversations over the last week. So really, really interesting. Some of them have to do with technique. Some of them have to do with building your business. And so here we go. After each question, I will ring that bell. I'm really going to try to stay on target for about 10 minutes or so. But these are a little bit more involved questions, so they might go just a little bit longer. So, and yes, you will be able to watch the replay. All of my Facebook Lives, including the Rapid Fire Friday, are recorded. So you can always come back into the events section of the Facebook group or go to Edible Impressions business page. That's where many of my Facebook Lives are recorded. So, all right, so here's the first one. Question number 1 is, what do you do for your assistant? Do you pay them by the hour or by event? I'm in South Carolina, and it would be really helpful to know things. So the question is about paying you either an assistant or the team that you have. And so my thought here is I do have a small team and I do pay hourly, but because our volume fluctuates, I found a way to be able to recognize and reward my baking associates when larger jobs come in. So because it's very difficult when you're a solopreneur, you have a very small team, to be able to pay out, because you just don't know what the business is going to be like. I mean, every month you don't know. And even though, I've been in business for how many years, there's always still that wonder, are we going to, a lot of times you don't see what's on the books coming. So rather than taking a risk, what I've come up with is actually a pretty nice plan. So everybody gets an hourly fee, but then whenever we have a larger job that comes in, what I do is when I'm working with my client, I actually build into that cost an opportunity for labor and staffing, but really it's an incentive for my team. So I actually pay out not only an hourly fee, but any of our large or even last minute requests, I do bonus checks. So that way my staff is getting, and they have an incentive, and it's really to recognize and reward them for coming in outside of their normal schedule. So that's just something to think about. And here's the thing, she did thank me after I posed that reply, and she said she's not quite at that level because she, is just getting started out. But here's the thing. I am so glad to hear that folks are thinking about bringing on, whether it's a virtual assistant or someone to help you decorate or even to prep. I wish I would have done that in my early years. I was very stubborn. I felt like I had to do everything myself. And I look back and I just understand and know how silly that was. I was afraid to let go. I thought I had to do everything. Nobody does it like me. And now I'm the queen of delegating. So, and really, I could have saved myself a lot of time, a lot of late nights, a lot of weekends. And here's the thing. The reason I think I resisted hiring, bringing people on, was that I always looked at it as it was an expense. And if you think about it differently, that it's an investment. Because honestly, the more help you have, the more you can become the CEO of your company. And I don't care if you've got one person helping you, 10 people or 20 people, even if you're by yourself, you are the CEO, and you really need to start thinking like that. So now when I have my team come in and help work in the shop, many times I'm in my office working on CEO tasks. And ultimately it's bringing in more business, which means they have more hours, which means they get more bonus checks. So you can see the trickle effect. So that was a long answer, but really, really important. I wanted to kind of shed some light on when I saw that, what do you pay your employees or a virtual part-time? We're talking part-time. You do not need to hire people on a full-time basis. It can be a part-time situation. So that's question number one. Okay. And thank you for those that are watching live. I see quite a few people coming on here. Karen and Michelle, Linda, hello, Natasha, Crystal, so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate, and those that are watching the replay, hello. So thank you so much. And I did mention before I started, for those new members, as I mentioned, I like to share my knowledge and expertise. Please know that I started my nationwide profitable business from a hobby, honestly, a hobby. And now it is the livelihood of my family. So I just wanted to kind of put that in there, that I'm speaking from experience, and I'm here to help you kind of fast track, kind of let you know what works, maybe some things that you may want to decide maybe not to do. Completely up to you. Everybody has a different journey, but just want to share that. Okay, here is another one. So I got my first disappointed customer ever. I never rushed, and she sent a picture as an example, and I never stated that they would be identical as the photo found. And then she said that, really kind of hurt, because she does do her best work as possible. And she felt like it was a really good duplication of what she had requested. So she gave her a picture to decorate. So for inspiration, if you will. So she paid a certain amount for, 20 cookies. There were multiple colors. It was 5 inches. And so she's asking for thoughts. She thought that her example was really close to the or her finished product was really, really close to the example that was shared. And she said that the customer came in and didn't want them sealed, didn't want them packaged anywhere in particular. She stacked them and then drove home, but clearly disappointed. She was upset, said that it didn't look like what she had proposed in the picture. So here is my thought process on this scenario: is definitely protect yourself from customer complaints. And just know that you're not going to please everybody. There is always going to be someone or a few people who, no matter what you do, are not going to be happy. And I've experienced this mostly in my years. And there's a pattern, because it always seems to be with weddings. And even though it could be the perfect mirror of a cookie design that they gave you for inspiration, it may have nothing to do with your cookies. They may be stressed about something else, but they just happen to take it out on you. So be confident in what you're producing, but here's what you can do to protect yourself. Make sure that in your confirmation agreement, and even if you're just starting off, I want you to put things in writing. Confirm and make sure that you both are on the same page in terms of what's going to be produced, how many, all that good information, and the who, what, where, when, why, right? And in there, I can share, maybe I'll share this after I wrap this one up, but have a disclaimer. So whenever someone sends me a picture, it's for decorating inspiration only. And I always put in my confirmation this exact words: cookie designs in the pictures shared are for decorating inspiration only. They were not produced by Edible Impressions. Variations are expected in the cookie shapes, colors, and color shade, and or final presentation regard to packaging. So that disclaimer is kind of just lets them know, look, first of all, I don't like copying like verbatim someone else's work, although there are beautiful designs out there. And sometimes, we all do it. It's going to happen. And who knows really who came up with the original one. But I just like to put my own flair. Again, it's differentiating yourselves from other cookie decorators. So let them know that's your style. You don't copy. You will use it as inspiration, but there might be things that are a little bit different than it. So I really encourage my folks to share pictures, but it's just for inspiration. It may not be an exact identical And so here's the thing, ultimately, and I'll wrap up to the next question because I know it's already 10 after 10, but I'm going to keep going today. It's Friday, and you know what? It was my birthday yesterday, and I can do whatever I want today. So since I worked all day yesterday, today's really my birthday celebration. Okay, so the final thing I'll say about this is be the expert when it comes to your presentation and packaging. So if there is a design or a size of cookie or just, whatever that final cookie design looks like, make sure, again, you protect yourself to keep that quality going. So if someone says, yeah, don't bag them, don't heat seal them, just put them in a box and stack them, but you're thinking, oh, that presentation, first of all, those cookies should not be stacked. Maybe there's delicate flowers on there. So really, make sure that you are setting a standard on your packaging and presentation. And again, you are the expert. Don't feel confident and don't feel bad about declining a request. Don't straight up say no. Just let them know, in my experience, we prefer not to do this because of this. So you're giving them a reason of why you're saying no, but you're not really saying no, but then always give them an alternative, but explain why you're giving that alternative. So there's a lot packed into that one small question there, but I just wanted to share some of the key things here. So always keep in the top of your mind, presentation. My team, if I had $1 for every time I say it's all in the presentation and nothing leaves my bake shop without a ribbon. So, it's that level of quality that you want to keep consistent throughout all of your designs for all of your customers. So you are the expert. Keep that in mind always. All right, so on to the next question. Okay, this is happening. She's really excited. She's a hobby cookier and recently got into royal icing decorating and wanted to start a business, just making for family and friends. In speaking with her niece, who is involved with some local moms, she mentioned having cookies as favors at an upcoming teacher event for Cinco de Mayo. So congratulations on that. Turns out she just got approval, and we're talking it's 80 cookies, right? Let me see if this is the one. Yep. So there's 80 cookies, and she hasn't worked out all the details yet, but her question is, this could be the break that she's looking for. She's super nervous but excited, right? So she doesn't have a logo, she doesn't have a website, she doesn't have a name, any of that, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to have all that worked out before you start sharing your passion with folks. So, but there are a couple things you want to keep in mind. So she basically is saying any ideas or words of encouragement are appreciated. So there were a lot of people that chimed in, and that was just so wonderful. And my couple of things that I chimed in on were, it's going to be, I'm more of the nuts and bolts. It's like, all right, that's wonderful, but let's get down to business and let's get this going so it can be really successful. So the first thing that came to mind, and sometimes when I'm responding on Facebook, I don't think too much. It's like, what are the first few things that come to my mind? And so the first thing was create an ingredient label. Absolutely. You want to create an ingredient label. You want to make sure that those attendees know what they're consuming. Super, super important. So whether you're required to or not, I would always have an ingredient label, and just know that you'll be tweaking it over the time. I'm a state licensed bakery. And so it's so funny. Every time I come in, I have my inspection, they always have something to say about my ingredient label. It's crazy. So, it is constantly changing, but just be aware that folks do want to know what they're consuming. So on each of those favor bags, there should be an ingredient label on the back. But this is going to be so worth your while, because on that ingredient label, what I want you to do is put your contact information. So if you don't have a website, no problem. You have a phone number, which I know you're probably like, I don't want to give out my phone number. Well, until you get a website or until you have an email list, so maybe the email you prefer, but you have to have a ways for people to contact you. Not only if they have questions about the ingredients, but maybe they want to place an order. Maybe they love that cookie so much, they want to know how they can purchase them. So lost opportunity if you do not put your contact information on that ingredient label, which really the state does require. So that's number 2. Number 3, decide what your final packaging is going to look like now. So if you've got some advance notice, don't stress yourself out. Don't get overwhelmed. Finalize the packaging. Is it going to be in a favor bag? Is it going to be ribbon? What color ribbon? Are you making a tag for that? Get all those things done in advance. Have them ready to go in a box. And then you can just focus truly on the decorating, because I'm sure you'll want to decorate as close as you can to the event date as possible. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is plan ahead as much as you can. Make sure you also know what the count is. Have communication. They said 80, but is 80 true? What you don't want to do is make 80 cookies and all of a sudden your niece come back and say, oh, sorry, they only need 40. So again, lessons learned from years ago. Make sure you have some communication on what is the agreement on the estimated count, and then when are they going to tell you when they're going to finalize the account. Are you going to make any extras? Have all those things worked out in advance so there's no confusion later. And then finally, there's a few more things, but I'm going to jump to the last one here, which is super, super important. Okay. Don't forget to thank. I don't care if they're family. I don't care if they're a close friend. Do something to say thank you for that referral, especially if this is your first opportunity. So whether it is a small gift card or just a handwritten note, always thank those that refer. Now, your strategy in the beginning, you might be able to do maybe a touch point or offer a gift card because it's not very costly, but you can imagine when you grow, that could get a little costly. So again, the power of a handwritten note, a phone call, a text message, but specifically for the purpose of reaching out is to say thank you. Thank you. So please don't forget to do that. Wow, that was a long-winded answer. Oh, and I just rang the bell, so my pup is wondering what's happening. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is exciting. As I do these rapid fire Fridays, I see like more people coming on. I know it's during the week, and I know a lot of folks are working, but I'm happy to share, and hopefully you will share this with others and also watch the replay. I do tend to talk really fast, so you might have to rewatch it to grab those golden nuggets out of there. Okay, so here's the next one. I'm about to get started in a commercial kitchen so I can ship, which is wonderful, but the warmer weather is coming and she's worried about the integrity of the product. She's looking at drop cookies and other baked goods. So she's looking for anyone that has reasonably priced suggestions on how to ensure the products are not compromised by the heat. For instance, cooler packs, special boxes, things like that. So any ideas or tips? So when I thought about this, I thought, wow, well, we ship nationwide. And, she talks about drop cookies and other bakes. I don't know exactly what she's shipping, but we work with royal icing, and I know many of you do as well. If I were working with buttercream, I don't know that I would ship. I know people do it. I know people ship cupcakes, which is amazing to me, but which require cool packs. I do know that because that buttercream will absolutely melt, even in normal temperatures, like even Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Those cupcakes will melt. But we use royal icing, and we do ship nationwide to the warmer states, but we've never used cool packs. We do ship our cookies in a box, which I think helps to protect the cookies. So they're not compromised. But we also are very careful about the shipping delivery. So if it is going to go to California in the summer, we advise our clients to do either next day air or 2-day, usually 2-day. Next day air is usually for those really last minute rush orders. But because California, from Milwaukee to California, some of them are 4 to 5 days ground. And that's what you don't want. You don't want the cookies sitting somewhere on a truck or in, the UPS holding space. So, do keep in mind when you are thinking about shipping to those warmer places to make sure that you know how long it's going to take to get there. But royal ice cookies, they're fine. They do not. I've never in all my years ever had someone complain about the frosting melting or the cookies being compromised. And so, yeah. So, but with drop cookies, I would definitely avoid anything that has ingredients that will melt with ease. So unfortunately, those chocolate chip cookies, those chunks of chocolate, anything with glaze, I would be very, very hesitant to shipping to warmer without cool packs. And I don't have a lot of experience with cool packs, so that might be something to research to see what cool packs are out there. So that was another long-winded. Look at this. I know I went way over today, but like I said, oh well. I'm here to share with you guys. I want to make sure that I help you in any way that I can. All right, so the final question, this is a shorter one, I promise you. Okay, I am hand painting cookies, and the hand painting involved some edible paint and also markers. And I see this a lot, and I've never actually, in all my years, ever used cornstarch. But I understand why people are brushing their painted cookies or edible markered cookies with cornstarch, because what happens is many of the brands will smear. They don't dry, and even when you think they're dry, they're not dry. And so when you go to package them, it's so frustrating that it not only ruins the design, but that marker, gets stuck on the bag. So it's really, really frustrating. And so, so this gal, poor gal, she made this huge order, and now she's like, what do I do? I don't want to ruin them. So it's good that she's asking in advance. So this was a while ago, but I did, I said, yeah, use the cornstarch thing, let them dry, put a fan on them, do whatever you can for this particular order. But moving forward, I'd made a recommendation, and this is going to be one of the three Annette's favorite hidden treasure products. And I'm going to mention it again, but it's called Sugar Prism, and it's fabulous. It's paints that you can airbrush with, you can stamp with, you can paint with. And I tell you, in all my experiences with all the products that I've used, it dries, it does not smear, you can erase with it, and you will be incredibly happy with it. So, so just keep that in mind. So that was really, really fast. That was a fast one. Okay, so before I run away, just a couple more things. I want to just give a quick shout out, and I think my sister Sylvia, I see she is watching right now, and perhaps with my mom. I hope my mom is watching too. I just want to give her a huge shout out. We had so much fun this last Wednesday. We offered a free Facebook Live. It was all about royal icing hand decorating. And so Sylvia has been working with me for many years, and she came on to be able to share the many techniques that we are familiar with on how to hand letters. So there were many of them. So I really encourage you to go back and watch the replay, but I just want to give her a shout out. She did a great job, and I think she's hooked, and I know she'll be back. So stay tuned, but thank you so much for that. So that was one that was recently, the replays on April 27th, and then the upcoming, I'm really excited about the two upcoming ones. May 4th, as you all know, or will become familiar with, every other Wednesday, I do a business sense. So decorating, and then the next week will be something related to transforming your passion into profits. So this one I'm talking about pricing. Yes, pricing is a big thing for folks. So we're going to talk about value-based pricing. So that's going to be a good one. May 4th, 6:30 to 7:30 Central Time. Always to the replay, of course, and it's a free masterclass. And then May 11th, there's been a lot of chatter post hand lettering. So I'm going to do a follow-up one that is going to be about with the use of the projector, because I realized that Sylvia and I, we had samples, but we never actually pulled the projector out, and it would have been too much to show. So I'm going to do hand lettering take 2, and then I will be demonstrating the use of a projector and how that is done from start to finish. So, all right, I think that's it, folks. That was quite long-winded today. Let's continue the conversation. So if you have questions or wonderments, please post it in the feed, and I will always answer your questions post-event. And then finally, mark your calendars every Friday, 10 o'clock Central for Rapid Fire Friday. All right, folks, we'll see you again real soon. Take care. Have a great week.